My name is Monica Southside. I'm 9 years old and in the 4th grade. I go to Starting Rock Academy. My talent is that I like to sing. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero.
What they need.
People need someone to look up to. I decided on the ground, never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fell, if I succeed, at least I live inside me. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love is happening to me. I found the greatest love all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself. It is the greatest love.
That's so crazy. Looking at me performing right there, only thing I could think about was my daughter. Watching her in the studio for the first time. She just recorded her first song with Tasha Couture and myself, and she wanted to do it over and over again. And then she has a big voice. Big voice, little body, just like her mama. I sang that song at the King of Queen contest, and after singing it there, my cousin Melinda was like, you know what? It just touches people because of the message and the fact that you sing the way you do and you're still a kid is different. And we definitely had a Whitney obsession that was pretty huge. My goal to sing for her became a real thing. So much so that Melinda decided to let me know that because of the Olympics, Whitney was in town and she was actually going to be singing. And we broke in, which I believe is illegal, but that fearless thing that we had was something that really has carried us for the whole 25 years because we got so close, even with her having top-notch security, that we snuck a picture. Like I could have touched her with my fingers. And all the bodyguards were kind of, maybe not guarding because I was a kid. However, we made our way through all of the security backstage into the rooms and right next to her as she walked to the field. And we even followed her on the way out. So although I didn't get to sing for her, it became a real serious thing to me to make sure that one day she at least heard me sing her songs. I looked at her as someone that set the bar very high, but was still an extremely amazing example of what was possible. Just like me, she had brothers. She was the only girl, little tiny thing that loved singing big songs. And I never would have imagined that eventually my life would lead me to meeting and having a real relationship and learning from and being mentored by her. That wasn't in the cards at that time. My mind would not have been able to understand that if somebody had said to me, oh, okay, well, in a few years, you're going to meet the very person that you love, that you look up to, and you're going to establish the type of relationship that will take you throughout your adult life. You could not have made Monica in that red dress at 9 years old believe that. But what I did believe was that the gift of song could reach somebody through me. I didn't know it would be on the level that it ended up being on, but I felt like I could touch somebody, even if it was just at Jones Hill Chapel. The King and Queen contest was always something that we looked forward to. My Aunt Laura is my mom's big sister, and we grew up knowing that we could depend on her and we could rely on her. No matter what was going on, she was always pushing us to do better and to be great. And so when she started doing these King and Queen contests, she took me to Trophy Trends with her, and she bought all of the small ones. You know, you got runner-ups, then you have the winner, okay? And when it came to this, she used it as a teachable moment like this. Placing is good. Winning is great. The effort you put in will determine what you get out. So do you want this one or do you want that one? And that was the way she was talking to me, showing me the difference in, listen, your effort can mean that you take it all, or little effort can mean you get a little trophy. And so I decided, looking in Trophy Trends that day, like, I don't want this little bitty one. I want this over here. But I think that was her way of, taking something that to most would seem to be minute and making it clear to me that you'll get out what you put in.
Time we will have a long solo by Montez Arnold.
Yes, Sir Chad. He still can't stand the camera to this day. He looking like, if you don't get this shit over with. All right, Ted. It's crazy because my brother really is the opposite of me when it comes to being in the forefront. He can play everything on the piano, the drums, and what's dope about him is he is good with melodies. Like, I can go to him when I'm trying to put together things, because since I don't play instruments, he really is the backbone and the nucleus of that. I think the thing that stands out most about us is that, unlike some siblings, we have no differences. We have zero beef. I think our relationship is the one that I most use as an example for my kids to understand that nothing is supposed to come between you. And my brother doing his solo was just to tell my aunt, like, I love you, so I'm participating. I was there because, yes, I loved her, but I was doing more than participating. And when I sang with my heart. I sang with my soul, even at 9 years old. The church that we always sang at was Jones Hill Chapel. And we all, as long as I can remember, always went to church there. That was my family's home church. The choir was named after my mother's father, Alfonso Page. I learned a lot there about harmonizing, what it meant to really blend and be able to lead but also follow. I learned a lot of things there. And I experienced my first heartbreak there. I was in the choir, and I remember my aunt taking her time and sewing everyone's dresses and outfits and cummerbunds and bow ties. And my cousin, he was the pianist, choir director, all of the above. And I remember really just preparing every day, every night. I would stay at my aunt's house with her, and I would pretty much assist her in the process. And I remember him bringing me the stick and saying, this is what you'll do this time. And he was basically telling me that I would light the candle, not be in the choir. And I'm like, Wait, what you mean? So in these moments, I find out that I go from in the choir with a possible solo to being like an acolyte. I'll light the candles, I'll sit and be quiet. And that was the first time I had experienced a heartbreak in the sense of music. You know, you expect a lot. We came up in church, we were taught family over everything. And this, I felt slighted. I felt hurt. But the cool part is, my mom and my aunt left the family choir in support of that not being okay. Like, not only is this not okay, it's heartbreaking. This is a family-oriented situation. This is a family choir. She wants to be a part of it. I've made her dresses. Of course, we've all mended fences since then, but that was the moment that I realized I'm capable of anything because I have them behind me. And that's the real difference in what this 25-year journey has been like, because I haven't had to do it on my own. See, my people are really my people, and I understand the difference in being related and being family. My real family, they rode with me from birth to the moment when I was 9, to one of the most life-changing moments when I was 18, up until this very moment at almost 40 years old and 25 years in the business. They never turned their back on me. That part of my family. Lord Jesus, I got on striped pants, high-tech boots, or is that Doc Martens, and suspenders.
Everybody got to sing along. I think everybody out here knows real love. I'm here to
Okay, getting the crowd hyped at this age is impressive. Okay, I'm singing leads and backs. Really in it. Oh my God. Oh. God bless me and these two girls. What in the world? Melinda got it. She understood. You know, I love to sing, but she knew that it was interesting to have all these other facets. So she would buy these outfits, and then we decided, okay, I'll have dancers for the second song. Do The Greatest Love of All first, and then I do Real Love. And Real Love was a song that I was championing for, because I would tell her, I'm like, well, Mary J. Blige, she's like me. Like, been through a lot of stuff. She talks about it. She just always seems like she's being her. You look 25 years later and you think about, you know what? When no one else cares how I'm doing, Mary J. Blige cares how I'm doing. So I feel like everyone that's played a part in my life helped to create the woman that you see now. And you can't be a strong woman and not know any, even if it's just in passing. I think my strengths come from the women that I've loved. First, my mother. My best example was my first example. Whitney Houston, number 2. Mary J. Blige, number 3. And then the list continues. I look at women like Miss Betty Wright. May God rest her soul. She took time with everybody she came in contact with to share something that really was something that you could carry with you. Now, all of these people are not, in your life forever. Whatever the season is for, you have to live to learn. That's just what I did. And so learning that, I feel like every day I'm trying to do the same things. I'm trying to implement those things at home. Mrs. Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson's wife, we met very briefly, but she said some things that stuck with me. Miss Gladys Knight, she said some things to me that stuck with me. I mean, stuck with me. She kind of saw me at a time where I was going through it. Miss Anita Baker. Now, she seen me when I was really in the trenches. And she'll say, listen, baby, you capable of anything. It's in you. You was giving it to him when you were a little girl. Definitely can give it to him now. So I say that to say that it doesn't have to be a person that's in your space daily. It can be somebody you come in contact with. But I think part of the problem is with most people becomes them thinking that they know it all. And with celebrity, that happens a lot. And that's why I always stayed in Atlanta, because I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like being around people that seemed to think that they were so high and mighty or that they were different than other people. So I stayed in a place where I could remain rooted in the things that were important to me. And I could give that to my kids. So whatever you do decide to do, you take my morals, my values, these codes of ethics, and you go and you grow. And my life just continues to go full circle in that manner and in that respect.
Aspirations to work with Whitney Houston as my protege, because she is an inspiration to me. She has marvelous vocal talents, and she has a special interest in children. I know I'm only 12 years old, but yet and still, I work with a lot of younger children. It seems to me that they look up to me. At one point in time in my life, I was really discouraged and shunned because of my gift to sing. Now, all these things, they affected my confidence. But eventually, I realized that what God gave me, no one can take away from me.
Only 12 years old. A product of North Clayton Middle School. She's going to be performing 2 songs. Both of them have been done by Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all, and the latest one, I'll Always Love You. Let's give it up for 12-year-old Monica Arnold.
Dedicate this performance to someone who's been an inspiration to me. Whitney, this one is for you.
Okay, see, things have changed a little bit from 9 to 12. I got ad-libs going now.
Inside, give
Wait, what? Oh my God, this had to be Melinda. I don't get down on my knees and sing at all. Not on my own. Okay. For a standing ovation. Okay. That performance reminded me of learning very early on that you have to keep the audience, especially at a talent show. So the energy is a little different. You know, you come out on stage now and you're grateful that people are just happy to see you already. In talent shows, you have to make them love you. The one time that I realized that this wasn't what most 12-year-olds were doing was when I walked into the center stage. And we were excited. We rode there in Linda's hot-ass 280 Datsun in the middle of the summer. It's like 98 degrees outside, and we have zero air conditioning, okay? It's a stick shift. We got the windows down. We rolling. It was the day before my mom actually was getting married. So we had a lot of other things on the plate, but I've always been the type to multitask. And when Melinda said, listen, are you up for it? Do you want to do it? There's a $1,000 prize. My answer was, let's go. So we get there, and the lady says, how old are you? I'm like, well, with a big smile, I'm 12. I might have been 11. And she said, baby, you got to be 18. And I start singing. And she wrote my name down and kind of, told me to come on through. But I think she saw that this little girl is really courageous. Sounding good was a part of it, but I think she felt my energy. I think she felt the energy that I really at this point had decided I enjoy this and I want to change my family's lives. And sometimes, even as a kid, I would be backstage telling other people, it's going to be all right. It'll be fine. Just do your best. That belief is something serious. It really is a testament to if a child or person believes something is possible, it then becomes possible. The only way you lose possibilities is when you don't believe yourself. I can't sell you something I ain't buying. So even at 9, 10, 11, 12, I believed. I get into this talent show and I perform and we actually win. But because of how important the days were leading up to my mom's wedding, we left early. So Dallas had Kevin Wells, who is a known A&R. He's actually from the same side of town as me, Southside. And Kevin Wells found me. He got in touch with some high school friends of Melinda's somewhere in a barbershop off Old National. From what I recall, they actually paged Melinda. We were still using beepers. He asked us to come by. He explained why he wanted to meet, and the rest was really history. And I think our greatest connection was that we are both Southside born and bred. So when I walked in with Dallas and the first time he gave me a song, and it said something that I didn't agree with. It was saying something about like not being able to live without the guy or whatever. And I was like, I wouldn't even say that. Back then, my accent's heavy. I'm young. If I thought it, I said it. And he said, oh, Lord, Miss Thang. And that became like the theme of whenever I would come around, they would say, here come Miss Thang. Who asked Miss Thang, does she like this one? But they never tried to stop me from being me. And when he said, nah, the name of this album should be Miss Thang, shortly after he brought me in and he was actually playing the guitar. You know, he played all the instruments, which is something you don't see a lot of people do now. He was playing all the instruments. And so, you know, he's got a blunt hanging out of one side and he's strumming on the guitar and he's humming it. Miss Thang, boom, 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 Thang. And so it became the title of the album. It is a name that stuck with me for a very long time. And even though it started off as a joke, like, man, Miss Thang gonna do what she wanna do. Ooh, here come Miss Thang. Lord, Miss Thang, you like this song? It started off as kind of a joke, but it was really him saying that, okay, we see you, Miss Lady. We respect that you know who you are and what you want to do at such a young age. And he fought in boardrooms for me to do that for the first two albums. So that was the birth of Miss Thang.